Hello everybody, it's Redbeard Anubis and welcome back to LSPDFR. It is Sunday and it is court day for the channel. Obviously we won't have court on Sunday, but yeah, I don't want to interrupt the normal schedule. And we're taking out something completely different for court day. This is the unmarked Stanier from the Retro Stanier pack, which you'll be seeing a lot of because we are going retro. So little preview. Very nice card. It's a 1993 variant of the Stanier. So based on the 1993 Crown Victoria. But we're leaving Del Piero because obviously that's where we start our patrols, and I had to go to court. So before we start a shift today, we are going to go to court and knock that out and then go work a shift. Sometimes you have to do. Sometimes you just got to go to court, got to go to court. So pretend like you are viewing this on Monday when it is the next LSPDFR video. Anywho, so yeah, like I said, as you guys can see, the other vehicles are not retro. They are actually still normal, patrol vehicles, all that stuff. We, on the other hand, will be patrolling in the retro vehicles. I wanted to do a full switch over to kind of bring back the times, as they say. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I've really just wanted to patrol in the retro vehicles, enjoy it, and then for people that really don't care for retro stuff, they can see all the normal vehicles. Wow, way to cut me off, bro. Way to cut me off. You know what? Just for poops and giggles, I'm gonna run your plate. And of course, it's a Dubsta.
Target vehicle license plate.
One citation, no flags. I'm going to court, so I am not going to go ahead and do that right now. So yeah, anyway, we're going to head down to the courthouse in downtown Los Santos here. And we're going to get that knocked out and see what the results are for the past weeks here of all the patrols we did. So I'll see you guys when we get down to court. Oh, lighting setup, almost forgot. So we got the blue and yellow blinker in the back, solid red in front, dash cam, computer actually, which, I mean, very rare that you see a computer in a 1993 vehicle. But there's a computer right there. Different, interesting. I do like the Stanier pack. I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, anyway, we're going to get out to court and see what we can get into. All right, we finally made it down here. Took a minute, but we did it. Gonna wait for this light here to turn green. And then we're gonna go ahead and start our court day. Okay. Gotta love the lights in Los Santos, don't you guys? Doop, 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 doop. There we go. All right, green light. And we're gonna park out here in front of the courthouse like we normally do. And then we're gonna go ahead and walk up to the courthouse and see what our thing is. Forget walking. Yeah, there we go. We're just gonna do this. So I haven't been able to find any good interior courthouse modification, sadly. No one's made anything, so we're going to have to do what we normally do, which is stand in front of the employee/jurors entrance and then pull up our pad. So let's get start with these court cases. We have got a lot here, starting all the way back in August. Wow. All right, Miranda Thompson, August. Possession of PCP, disturbing the peace, battery on a police officer, and a resisting arrest with violence. She got 13 years, 11 months in prison and was fined almost $14,000. Wow. It's crazy. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Claire Walsh. Claire Walsh. A lot of stuff on his record. Driving wrong way, evading arrest, leaving the scene of an accident, reckless driving, possession of marijuana, possession of PCP, possession of stolen motor vehicle, and resisting arrest. Got jail time for drugs and granted probation on resisting arrest as well as stolen vehicle. Gotta love it. 7 years, 8 months in prison, and license suspended for 22 months. Once he completes his prison sentence, his license will be suspended for 22 Months, almost 2 years. Fined a little over 10, well, pretty much almost $11,000. All right, Claire's done. Julia Woods. Julia Woods, possession of cocaine, possession of PCP. At the age of 56, she is going to prison for 5 years and fined $6,000. Wow. Jaden. Jaden here got evading arrest, leaving the scene of an accident, possession of drug paraphernalia, illegal possession of a firearm, and attempted rape. He will be serving 7 years, 7 months in prison, almost fined $10,000, and his license was suspended for 21 months. So, like I said, the evading arrest charge usually carries a license suspension for that. And yeah, he'll get that suspension when he's released. He was only 21. Jackson Norman. Jackson Norman was illegal possession of a firearm, possession of destruction devices, and disturbing the peace. So he got a total of 1 year, 2 months in prison and fined a little over $2,000. Justin Blake. Justin Blake, failure to yield, was fined and found guilty of $205. And we have an arrest for him, which was possession of methamphetamines and a warrant for arrest. He got 7 years in prison and fined $7,000. All right. This one, possession of fentanyl, legal possession of firearm, and possession of stolen property. 4 years in prison and fined $5,529. Bob Fillmore, possession of cocaine, possession of fentanyl, possession of marijuana. Not guilty on the fentanyl. Interesting. Fined $10,000, 8 years in prison. He probably pled for that. And then Bob, which was our reason to pull him over, which was the neon underglow lighting, which I normally don't do, but if it's red or blue, I do. That's what I'm RPing as what's illegal. It's a good reason to stop, and if they're acting squirrely or weird, we have a reason to do that, and you guys see we got an arrest from that, so there's that. Reese Roger, evading arrest, leaving the scene of an accident, reckless driving, possession of cocaine, and illegal possession of a firearm by a felon. So his license was suspended for 2 years, and he will serve 8 months in prison and be fined almost $8,000. So after he's done with those 8 months in prison, age 19, wow. So yeah, he'll be suspended for 2 years once he is released in 8 months. James Dougal. James Dougal, participating in a gang, found not guilty. Wow. Attempted murder of police officer, 28 years in prison. Brandishing a firearm, 6 months in prison. Fined almost $8,000 and 28 years, 6 months in prison. Which, yeah, attempted murder of police officer. They're gonna hit you with that. Clyde Forster, illegal possession of a firearm by a felon, participating in a gang, and attempted murder of a police officer. 45 years in prison. He pled on that, definitely. The other two charges definitely pled. So he's fined almost $14,000 and 45 years in prison, and the 45 years in prison comes from the murder of a police attempted murder of a police officer. Anthony got evading arrest, possession of cocaine, possession of fentanyl, and resisting arrest. Granted probation on the resisting, and then 9 years, 11 months in prison. Fined a little over $8,000, and of course suspended for 22 months to take effect after his sentence. Quentin Wiggins, possession of drug paraphernalia. He got a year in prison for possession of his drug paraphernalia. Jack Swaggish. Jack Swaggish, failure to yield and neon underglow lighting, was fined $582 for that. And then we got an arrest from that, which was driving while license suspended. His license was permanently revoked, and he spent 60 months in prison. However, he was found not guilty on the ecstasy or MDMA and destruction devices, which was probably a grenade, which is interesting. I wonder how that worked. Again, probably pled, have a lot of cases, big city, most likely. It doesn't say whether it pled, it just says not guilty. So, I don't know. Okay, we're going to go ahead and reload these. And come back down. Okay, Healy. Healy was driving under the influence, was granted probation for driving under the influence with no prison time and fined only $688. Wow. This dude got lucky. He had a good lawyer. That's exactly what it is. And that's what it is, man. You get a good lawyer, you can do it. No time in prison, only a pretty much $700 fine. And then Healy did pay the fine. He was speeding under 15. He just paid the fine and called it a day. So he walked out pretty well. Gary Partner, driving under the influence and legal possession of a firearm, license suspended for 6 months, granted probation, no prison time for it because probably was first offense. Illegal possession of a firearm, granted probation. And then it was almost $2,000 in fines. Then we have another charge, which was the traffic, which oriented it, which was fined $203. This is probably with all these doubles here. I'm assuming that was our San Andreas Highway Patrol episode. It makes sense to me. Carl was formed. Let's see here. Fined $209 for his speeding under 15. And then he was arrested for 5 years in prison, $9,000 in fines, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of heroin, and a warrant for arrest. So that's where he got the 5 years. Allie Williams was speeding between 16 and 25 over, $356. Man, it pretty much doubles in fine costs if you're in that next bracket up. That's why cutting people breaks I will do if they're not bad, if they are not a problem, but some people, they just need a ticket. So she got that. She paid it. Oh, good. Otis Stanford, possession of LSD and a warrant for arrest. He got 5 years in prison for whatever that warrant was, don't remember, and fined $7,000. Ollie Williams, she had possession of methamphetamines. That's why I didn't cut her a break. So she had methamphetamines on her, went to jail for 3 years for that and fined $3,000. Okay, that makes more sense. Gabriel Walker, driving under the influence. So he was found not guilty on that, which is surprising. Evading arrest, leaving the scene of an accident, reckless driving, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of heroin, illegal possession of a firearm, possession of a stolen vehicle, not guilty. Wow. Resisting arrest and warrant for arrest. This guy had a slew of charges, was fined almost $16,000, 4 years, 9 months in prison for all this, and that's all he got. Good lawyers. That's what it is. Ryan Rubrick. All right, Ryan was driving while license suspended. His license was suspended again for 22 more months on top of what he already was. Possession of LSD, granted probation on that, warrant for arrest. So he's going to prison for 1 year for that warrant. And then fined almost $7,000. Michael Pearson, possession of stolen property, gets 8 months in prison and fined almost $1,000 for that. Damian Williams, driving under the influence, evading arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of heroin, possession of stolen property, and resisting arrest. So he got 2 years, 9 months in prison for that. His license was revoked for the evading arrest and was first suspended, then revoked. So he's suspended for driving under the influence, but then the judge decided to revoke his license because he ran and he was intoxicated. Smart move. The rest of the stuff he got probation for because he was already going to jail for the 2 years, 9 months. So yeah, there's that, and fined almost $12,000. Nice. Carlton Banks. Carlton Banks was arrested for trespassing, which is a misdemeanor, but got 10 months in prison for it. Wow. Possession of drug paraphernalia, 2 years. Possession of fentanyl, probation. And possession of methamphetamines for 5 years. So he got 7 years and 10 months in prison and fined almost $12,000 for that. Kong Lee, broken tail light, not guilty, no charges. Okay, all right. So there, they found him to be not guilty. Did it evade our? No, it did not invalidate our arrest though, because his license was revoked for driving under the influence. He's granted probation on everything and fined almost $5,000. I think this guy had a great lawyer. That's, again, what I'm thinking. That's usually the reason. I'll be honest. It all depends on who you have as a defense attorney. Blake Newsham. Newsham got 21 years in prison and fined almost $18,000 for driving the wrong way, evading arrest, leaving the scene of an accident, reckless driving. So he was, let me count this up real quick. He was 34. He was suspended after he gets released out of 21 years in prison for 40 months. Wow. Yeah, so he can't drive for over 3 years. So yeah, after that, once he gets out 20, so he'll be out at 41 and he can't drive for a couple more years after that. So driving the wrong way, right? Yep. Possession of fentanyl, possession of PCP, possession of stolen vehicle, and vehicular manslaughter is the kicker, which he got in because he did hit someone and killed them. So that was confirmed, and he got 16 years in prison for that. Wow, Blake. That's crazy, man. Was that it? Don't tell me that was it. Oh my gosh, that was it. Let me double check just to make sure. Don't want to leave any of them on there from our last time. Oh, see, this is why we double check. Bobby Wilson, trespassing, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of PCP, and a warrant for arrest. He got 4 years, 6 months in prison, and fined almost $12,000. Pretty clear cut on that one. Ethan was possession of drug paraphernalia and obstruction. Granted probation, but fined on the obstruction. 5 years in prison for that paraphernalia. Man. Mitch Raines, prescription pills, got 2 years, fined $3,000. Wow. John Mason, possession of LSD, 3 years in prison, $4,000 fined. Fido Rogers, arson. That was our arson guy. Cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest. He got 8 years, 9 months in prison with fined almost $20,000. That's the dude in the forest from our last patrol. And then Penny Jameson, driving under the influence, evading arrest, possession of LSD, possession of methamphetamines, and possession of a stolen motor vehicle. Got 9 months in prison. License was first suspended for driving drunk, and then license revoked thereafter, which I'm pretty sure that's standard what they do. If they evade arrest or evade police while in a vehicle while intoxicated, they revoke their license thereafter, which would make sense to me. Don't need people like that on the road. And that was also last patrol as well. I remember that. And yep, that is everything. That is all the court cases we got, everybody. So I hope you guys did enjoy watching. Again, I'm not mad about it. It is just what it is. You just got to remember that when you're doing this, virtual or real life otherwise. And sometimes that's how the chips fall. It is what it is. That's what the court systems are there for, and sometimes a good lawyer can help out in some of the worst case scenarios and situations. On that note, I hope you guys did enjoy watching, and of course we shall see you on the next one when we go retro in Del Perro. Take care, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.